Today we're diving into a story you might think you know, but it's so much more than that. It's a story that's become a global benchmark for loyalty. We're talking about the true story of a single dog in 1920s Japan, and how his simple life somehow grew into this unforgettable worldwide legend.
And really, that's what people call it, the most iconic tale of canine faithfulness. This isn't just some sweet story about a good dog, It's way bigger. It's a story that has resonated for nearly 100 years, basically defining what we even mean when we talk about devotion.
So that really brings us to the big question, right? How? How did the simple, day-to-day life of one Akita in Japan, all the way back in the 1920s, transform into this massive global myth that even today still captures our hearts? Let's figure it out. To get to the bottom of this, we've got to go right back to the very beginning. We're talking about a simple, quiet, everyday routine shared between a man and his dog in Tokyo. So picture this. It's 1924. A professor, Hidezaburo Ueno, who taught at the Tokyo Imperial University, brings home this adorable golden Akita puppy. He names him Hachiko. And, well, from that moment on, their lives just completely weave together. In their bond, it was built on this really simple, but totally unbreakable daily routine. I mean, check this out. Every single morning, they'd walk together to Shibuya Station. The professor gets on his train for work, Hachiko goes home. But then, like clockwork, he comes right back to the station at 3 p.m., ready to greet his best friend coming home. This little ritual? It was their bedrock. It was everything. But that perfect routine, that clockwork life they shared, was about to be just shattered in the most sudden and tragic way you can imagine. Here's what happened. On May 21st, 1925, Professor Ueno was at the university when he suffered a fatal brain hemorrhage. And just like that, he was gone. He passed away suddenly, which meant he wasn't going to be on that 3 p.m. train. And Hachiko, well, he was there. He waited. But his owner never came home. And that's all it took. Just one time. One single, fateful afternoon where the routine was broken and literally everything changed forever. The contrast here is just staggering. Think about it. That one day of absence sparked a vigil, a wait that would last for almost a whole decade. For 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days, Hachiko held on to that one single memory of their shared routine. And this was not an easy wait. He was out there every single day. Through blistering summer heat, pouring rain, and heavy snow, none of it mattered. Hachiko showed up at the station, in their spot, waiting. He just waited. But this private, lonely act of devotion, it didn't go unnoticed. Soon, it would become a story that captured the heart of an entire nation. At first, it was just the locals, the station staff, the daily commuters, who noticed this loyal Akita. They'd feed him scraps and keep an eye on him. But by 1927, his story got picked up by the national newspapers. And suddenly, boom, everyone in Japan knew about Hachiko. And that was the transformation. Hachiko went from being just a lonely dog at a station to a full-blown national celebrity. People were actually traveling from all over the country just to see him, to bring him treats, and to witness this living, breathing symbol of an ideal the nation held dear, unwavering devotion. Hachiko's vigil would eventually come to an end, of course. But his story? Oh, his story was just getting started. It was about to go way beyond his own life and become this permanent fixture in our global culture. So, on March 8, 1935, after nearly 10 years of waiting, Hachiko passed away at the age of 11. He was found on a street near the station, and his death wasn't a footnote. It was front-page news across Japan. It was a moment of national mourning. His legacy was cemented almost immediately. I mean, get this. They put up a bronze statue of him while he was still alive. After he died, his remains were actually preserved for display. That original statue was melted down for the war effort in World War II, but his story was so important to people that it was rebuilt in 1948, and of course in 2009, the Hollywood film Hachi brought his incredible story to a new generation all around the world. Now, to put his fame into context, people often compare him to another famous loyal dog, Greyfriars Bobby from Scotland, who guarded his master's grave for 14 years. But what makes Hachiko's story so incredibly unique is that he wasn't guarding a final resting place. He was waiting every single day for a living person to come back through those station gates. He was waiting for a reunion. And that, right there, is the heart of his legacy.
Hachiko's story leaves us with this powerful question. Can a memory be strong enough to completely shape a life? For nearly a decade, his entire existence was defined by that routine. His vigil stands as this profound testament to a bond that not even death could break.